Hey guys, my name is Ashley Green and I'm the coordinator of Longwood Recovers, Longwood's collegiate recovery program. And today I am with Dr. Walls-McKay. She is the director of CAPS, Counseling and Psychological Services here at Longwood. Hi, Dr. Walls-McKay. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Ashley. It's so good to be here with you today. Thanks for having me.
I wondered if we could start by maybe just, asking what is CAPS?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. So CAPS is the primary mental health service here at Longwood. And so we are staffed with clinical psychologists, counseling psychologists, and counselors in training. And we provide mental health counseling to any Longwood student who wants to come in and learn about themselves, or maybe they've been diagnosed with a mental concern, or maybe they want to just improve their life in some way. So we see clients, students, I use clients, that's just my clinical mind speaking. We see students who maybe experience depression or anxiety, possibly eating concerns, substance use concerns, of course, relationship difficulties, pretty much any concern that a student might think, hey, I would like to talk to a professional about this concern. We offer a confidential space, so our services are confidential. There are some exceptions to confidentiality, which we fully explain to students who come to us. But generally, students can feel safe in sharing with us because it is a confidential and safe space. And also, psychologists and counselors, we can listen with a different ear because we're not that student's friend. We're not that student's parent. We're not that student's coach. So we can listen more objectively because we're not invested in the student in a way that a friend or a parent or a loved one or a professor is. We can hear that student in the moment and listen with a objective ear and really help the student develop some insight into what's going on in their life, and then leading to some maybe pattern changes or behavioral changes that help them gain the life that they want to have. You know, we all face times in life when stress is high or something situational is happening, and it just is helpful to have somebody who's removed from that situation to listen and to guide us through those difficult times.
Okay, awesome. And so, thinking about individuals in recovery from addiction related issues, I was curious about, an individual um, that is in recovery or is recovery curious, and how that CAPS can be a supplement to people in Longwood Recovers.
Absolutely. I love that, what you said, recovery curious, because that's probably where we encounter a lot of students. And that's when, in our minds, we're sitting with a student and the student might disclose that about their use and about really the possibility of recovery, and maybe just getting some inklings about wanting to make some changes. And so we listen to that. And this might be when a student first comes into CAPS. More likely, it's when a student has developed trust in their psychologist or their counselor. Maybe it's their third session meeting with us, or the fourth, or even longer. And they start to talk about their use of substances and their desire to make some change in that area in their life. So we oftentimes at that moment, we kind of plant the seed about Longwood Recovers. We love that you all are here. It's such a wonderful supplement to the treatment that we provide. Because oftentimes when we're talking with students who are using substances or who have a desire to change that behavior, we really think about kind of that student being able to reach out to recovery resources, such as Longwood Recovers. We think about helping that student identify triggers in their life. We talk to that student, depending on what stage they're at, we talk about learning about things on campus that are substance-free, activities and social engagements, and Longwood Recovers really helps with that. So there have been times when I'm sitting with a student in counseling, and they start talking about their use of substances, and I in my mind I'm thinking about Longwood Recovers and thinking, that's back there, and at some point I might talk about Dr. Doyle or Ashley Green, and I might give that student the email. And I know Dr. Doyle and I know you have met with students one-on-one who are curious, who aren't quite ready to make a commitment, but they're curious. They want to learn more about it. So that's exactly when we reach out, or we give that student your email, Longwood Recovers email. And I know Dr. Doyle has had lunch with students who are curious and want to learn more. because sometimes that's exactly what the student needs, is to have somebody to kind of bounce that idea off of, and to get more information about what is here at Longwood. Can Longwood be a place where I can embrace change in my life? And the answer is yes, Longwood is that place, but sometimes the student really needs that one-on-one connection. And we certainly make that connection with students here in CAPS, and then you all supplement that, I mean, equally with another resource that's just a fantastic resource for our students. So we here at CAPS, all the psychologists and counselors are just grateful that Longwood Recovers is here, and that you have a physical space over at Upchurch, and we have Ashley, who's wonderful, to connect with those students who are curious or who are maintaining the sobriety and the recovery. I think sometimes, I was thinking today and reading a little bit today how students in recovery are kind of a hidden population at times.
Yeah.
They're just, they're here, they're among us, and they're kind of quiet. They're making their way on their own, or they're kind of unknown to their faculty and their staff and their peers. So part of counseling also is to, if the student is interested and ready, really learning how to disclose to maybe their professors or their classmates or their roommates or their friends or their teammates about their journey with substances and their journey with recovery. So I think really building connections is what it's all about. Having safety in connections, having people that can be trusted, having that non-judgmental reaction and environment, all that cumulative just adds up to a wonderful support here at Longwood for students in recovery or students who are curious about recovery.
Absolutely. And there's a wonderful quote, and I think you just kind of, spoke to that. It's the opposite of addiction is not sobriety, it's connection. And that is what Longwood Recovers is. It's about connecting with other like-minded individuals. Yeah, and I think it's important to clarify that, Longwood Recovers is not treatment, it's support, exactly. And so we really appreciate you guys and, working alongside you to, help our students with that kind of support, that extra support.
And I appreciate you sharing that quote. I think another kind of assumption is that people come for counseling or to Longwood Recovers when they've kind of hit rock bottom. Mm-hmm. I like to think about rock bottom as, oftentimes we think about that's the end, but really it's the beginning. And then I also think that most students come to us, certainly we have had students who come when they've hit rock bottom, but the majority come when they've noticed some negative impact that their substance use is having on their life. Maybe it's relationship difficulties, or maybe they've experienced blackouts and that concerns them, or maybe there are health-related concerns or mental health-related concerns, or academic decline. So along the way, the student is realizing that their use is maybe more than what they want or more than what they plan. Sometimes they plan to use substances, just minimally, and it exceeds minimal use. So I think oftentimes students start that curiosity. And that's just it's a scary place, I imagine, for the student, but it's an exciting place too, of growth and connections and recovery.
That's awesome. So what would you tell a student, that is curious about coming to CAPS, but is a little bit nervous? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that's so expected. It's so normal to be nervous. You think about coming to a professional, a stranger, coming to a place maybe they've never been to. CAPS. We have beautiful offices over here, and it's comfortable, but it's a strange place, an unknown place, talking to a stranger who's been trained, of course, and really sharing very personal, very intimate details and concerns. So of course it's anxiety provoking, and it can cause nerves. So I think that ambivalence is so expected and so normal. So what we really encourage students to do is give it a try, come and meet us and see our space. I think it helps students if they jump online and read about us first. That takes some of the unknowns away. We have bios on our website, and you kind of get a sense of CAPS just by reading, and that takes some of the unknown, like I said, away. but it is just kind of giving it a try. And then, there's no commitment. Students can come and meet us, have an initial appointment with us, and then decide. There's absolutely no commitment at that point or at any point. It's always the students. We really value the students' autonomy, the students' choice for treatment. So we don't mandate treatment. We don't report if they come or not to anybody. So it's really, the students really in the driver's seat there. We are here to support and encourage that. But we totally get that it's a big step. And oftentimes I find myself saying to a student who came in for the first time, at the end of that first session, I oftentimes encourage them, I commend them for coming in, and I encourage them to treat themselves with something because they took a big step. And I know what it's like to go to counseling and to a doctor's office. There's some natural anxiety there. So, treat yourself to some, I don't know, ice cream or a walk outside or whatever kind of treat to reward for taking that step.
Yeah, I love that. And so what is the best way to get in touch with CAPS?
Absolutely. So students can call us. Our phone number is 395-2409, or we have an email, a general CAPS email. It doesn't go to any specific provider. Matthew Wagner is at our front desk, and he does a fantastic job of greeting students for the first time and helping them through the scheduling process and having them helping them make an appointment with one of the providers. Or students, less so now with the pandemic, but students can also stop by to make an appointment.
Okay.
Students actually call or email and get connected with us in that way.
And you guys are located at the top of the Health and Wellness Center?
That's right. So we are on the upper floor of the Health and Wellness Center, and we have great space here. We have we're kind of on the edge of campus, which is, we like that because of, again, confidentiality. So students report that they can come to us, and it's a private space, so they enjoy that privacy. So yeah, we have a great space over here.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much. That was so informative. And again, my name is Ashley Green, and if you are interested in recovery or in recovery, please do not hesitate to reach out at Longwood Recovers at longwood.edu. Everyone is welcome. And thank you so much again, Dr. Walls-McKay. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Ashley. This has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
You too.